Welcome back, everybody. Now, here's where we left off in the first Depression Room film. Hopefully, my audio is very good. I'm currently using my mother's mic for work. I'm just moving some things out of the way, this ottoman, getting this box, because we are making a new desk for my friend. Yep, after the clean comes the transformation, and my favorite part about any room makeover is moving all the furniture around and adding new furniture as well. It just gives you a nice, fresh feeling. So, this is kind of going to look like a bit of a tutorial here, me making this standing desk actually. And I personally, after I made this standing desk, I've actually been looking into buying myself my own standing desk. And here I am just looking up the instructions on how to do it because I have no clue how to build this desk. Especially when I was thinking about the electronics involved in this, I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? But there you go. As you can see, I'm just following the instructions. If you do buy this standing desk, I can add it. I'm sure I can add a link in the description or something if anyone wants to check it out. Like, it was honestly very complicated, these instructions. The video that they had recorded was only about a minute long. So every single step they went through right away, so I'm rewatching it many, many times before realizing exactly what they did because they just did it instantly. And at least if you were trying to build this desk, you can probably see all the individual steps that I'm doing. But yeah, there was a lot of screwing. It came with all the parts, which was really nice. And despite there being electronics, I didn't struggle. This actual build took me probably about, I think, an hour. It was a very long time. So it would have at least been 40 minutes. And mind you, some of the time I was just there, just watching the video, going like, what on earth? And I did have some mess ups here. Here I'm screwing everything in, adding the legs, adding the top of the desk bit. It all went together very nicely though. And here's why I've just realized that I've put the leg on the wrong side. And this is actually very, very much what I do. There were times where I built two IKEA cabinets. The first cabinet I made backwards, and then I was like, oh my gosh. And made the second cabinet, same thing. Had to remake both the cabinets. And these cabinets I was making without an actual, like, electric screwdriver, so I just had to do it manually, and my hands were killing me. But here I am just putting the last bit, and I had my dad here come and help me out by putting it in. He brought his drill up, so he could just drill everything in for me, and I can just screw them in to start with, which was a lot nicer than me actually having to do it here. See, I'm starting it, and he's going to come through with his, big power tools and drill it. Very good. This is the thing, all the times you get these things from like Kmart, IKEA, and they all say like you don't need to actually have any power tools, but boy, does it make a difference. It makes a huge difference. There, I'm just adding the actual bits that are for making it move up and down and plugging it in. As you can see, there's just little clips there that I plugged in, bloop, and I just felt very, I felt very much like a software engineer. I'm like, I know exactly how to build this. How clever of me. And also adding here is a cup holder and then a holder to hold their headset, but they don't have that. But I'm sure they can do it in due time. Look at that, it's beautiful. Personally, I don't like the color, but that's just what it is. And as you can see already there was a mess from last time we were here, but that's okay. This is very important when it comes to like offering services to friends or family. I never am expecting for them to have kept the room to the same standard that I left it, because that is not the obligation. When I'm coming in and I'm helping clean, it is that I am setting your space back to ground zero, and I'm just hoping that's going to help you mentally out. It's not about you keeping up with everything. And as you can see, that pile of stuff was still there, and I expected that to be there, and I think that's good because they've got all that stuff there. It's out of the way, simple mind and everything. And honestly, adding a new desk like this and adding everything on it, I think would really help. It really helps, I think, make you feel very good about yourself. I'm excited for my standing desk when I buy it. And here I am just doing some technology things. I brought my dad on board to help me out here because I cannot do heavy lifting. That's the only thing. Like, look at me in my little dress. I don't know how to do anything. Well, I can. I can clean. That's one thing. And here I am cleaning, vacuuming it all, using this vacuum cleaner, which again is not my shark. It's still a very great vacuum cleaner. And I must say, I did click one of my videos recently to see how it was playing everything, and the ad that popped up was for shark, so I'm pretty sure I'm saying it so often, the word, because I'm always excited about my vacuum cleaner, that the company has actually decided to put some, or at least the YouTube algorithm has decided to do that. But I feel like, if anyone deserves to be sponsored, I really do talk up this shark. I'm saying that, but in my next video, I will actually be talking more about the downsides of it, because I was using it a lot and there was starting to be some problems with the shark vacuum cleaner. And here we are adding the desk, taking out this new one, which was folding. I know, how nice. I love a little folding wheel. It makes it so much easier. And yeah, adding these things back and moving some stuff back into that corner. The corner, you should call it like the Bermuda Triangle, you know that? Just the place where you lose ships in the sea. You know what I'm trying to say. And here we are making the biggest change, which is rotating the bed. Obviously, previously the cupboard, I had not cleaned that because I could just not open it, and I was questioning them about why they've done this. And it was because they said they don't use most of this cupboard. They just like have their things hanging on the door, which last video you saw I would have cleaned them all up and put them all neatly, inside the wardrobe, but I actually had not really been able to access it. So I'm just cleaning the stuff here that were hidden by the bed and giving a vacuum, and I'm going to attempt to clean out this cupboard because it doesn't make sense having a cupboard if you can't use it and it's not cleaned out. I definitely have way too much things in my cupboard at home, but here we are. Look at that. Like, it was a lot of stuff. I did honestly take a few minutes just talking about them, what they wanted, and what their vision was for how they wanted everything organized. And we talked about what stuff, as you can see, there is some cyclist stuff, there is just some random boxes of books and stuff. And we talked about what they wanted to keep and throw out, which is very important as well. Whenever you're handling someone else's space that's not your own, it's very important that you discuss what you want and what you want to organize it. This is just like when I had my video where I'm organizing the male share house. I did talk to them and say I'm gonna get rid of everything that's not food related, and they were like, "But our sandpaper," and it was just too bad. I found some alcohol there, and I was a bit confused about it all. And there I'm holding all the expensive cycling equipment. I don't know about cyclists where you guys live, but here in my little city, cyclists are very much love or hate them. There's a very big strain of people who do not like cyclists on the road. But so this person is a cyclist. I am exposing them. And at the very bottom, if you can see, there's rat droppings. It turns out there's been a mouse that was living down there and doing stuff. So don't worry. Once again, the sponge is going to get chucked out after I'm done wiping down that bottom drawer, because from a distance I was like, oh yeah, it's just bits of this of that blanket I took out. But then I was like, oh no, oh no. But yeah, anyway, it's all clean. That doesn't matter. And this, I actually couldn't see that top drawer, that shelf that I'm cleaning, so I didn't know that nail was there until I was editing this video. So I don't know if they would ever be found. And here I am going and actually wiping down some stuff. That's definitely part of this part 2 clean, which is where I can actually go in and start wiping down. And here I'm very happy that that fitted. Look at that. Yeah, so I will be definitely wiping down some more stuff. That is something I did not have time for last time. Just organizing some papers here. Once again, I'm not going to chuck anything out unless I have consent. I do have a pile of things that I think are rubbish that I'm accumulating outside of the room. And look at that, slotting in so nicely. But they're going to go through that afterwards when I'm done with this clean. I have actually visited this person's house probably maybe, I'm going to say 8 days after this clean was actually done. And it is a huge mess. And I was debating adding in a video of it to show what I was talking about earlier about how the fact that these rooms will get messier when someone is in this mindset. And here's the hat section. They said this was very important. They wanted their hats there. But I left it out. I think I might make a short about it. We might be visiting this room again because it is probably 10 times worse than it was the first time I cleaned it. But that's just how it goes. That's just how life is sometimes. And we're just here to support and lift up our friends. And here I'm again going in with the deep cleaning, actually wiping down their stuff like their printer and this globe of the world. As you can see, I was very indecisive on what side to put it, but I did manage to go there, wiping these. I'm going to say speakers. These are quite old, these things. This is the thing. They bought a very new and nice, shiny standing desk, but they're very committed to their speakers, and I respect that a lot. I'm like that with a lot of my furniture. I'm like, I can't get rid of it. I've had it forever. Sentimental value. I also want to thank myself for how much cord work I'm doing. Look at me putting them through here. I was so proud of this when I'm working out how to connect everything to their computer system. Obviously, there's not like an actual computer here. There's just a bunch of monitors. But I still felt very IT. My partner's actually a software engineer, so I'm constantly feeling like I don't know anything about IT. And I'm just going to them. So the fact that I even was able to manage some like chord arrangements and everything, it was great. I know personally I would love to be very good at organizing all the chords, making it all neat, streamlined, and then I just had a little crocodile there. I'm putting the printer through again. I'm like, wow, look at me making it all seamless, plugging it all in, and adding a little photo there. And look at that desk. It's looking so good. We're finally like coming to the final step of just putting everything back in and me finishing with this cupboards. You can really see how empty everything is when you get all the junk out and you really decide what you need and don't need. And here I'm making one of the cupboards to just house all the shoes of theirs. I personally have got a bunch of shoe holders that I like keeping in my hallway in my place where I keep my shoes. It's really nice. I've got bamboo ones and also just like a black opening one And I'm making a bag there of all their cycling clothes, which they don't use very often, but they do. And that was kind of the cycling shelf there, putting their cycling headphones and everything, putting some more hangers up there. And look how great that cupboard is. It looks so nice and organized. I realized I couldn't put the protein powder up there, so there I am checking, yep, it's safe. I can walk away. And again, one thing I got to get better at when I'm recording this in the angles is the actually getting all the angles, because when I'm moving things out of that cabinet, I was making piles along the floor, and I feel like that would be quite beneficial for you guys to actually see the piles, because it's very hard to get every single angle when I'm just working with one phone. And then here I am just going through everything on the bed. This was definitely the last stress. I was very tired at this point. I'm just trying to keep it together. Like, come on, we're so close to being done with this clean. It was a full day, really getting everything done here. I wish I could have given them a bedside table. That's the only thing I do regret is there was no bedside tables I talked about last time, and I wanted it this time. And I did try finding one on Marketplace, but there was just none that they liked, particularly for their room. And they said they're fine with adding a chair. So I think after this clean, they might have added a chair. I've not actually looked that closely. And here I am just doing that. There's just a belt, a random speaker there, putting everything away. I must say, it's very nice just being here watching these videos. I find that I get distracted myself watching myself clean. And here I've realized there's things actually hidden underneath this quilt. So putting it away, and this is the room. Look how nice and big it is. Look how clean it is. This is where we started. Remember, it was very much cramped. You couldn't really access that wardrobe at all, let alone see it. And then we made their bed, we did their cupboard, and we made their desk all nice. And here's a little plug of the standing desk. Look at that. How cool. I'm absolutely obsessed with these things. I hope they do a lot for his posture. Anyway, thank you. Bye.